Continuing from the previous episode 2540. Latest URL. Have you had enough trouble? Do you really want to let countless powerhouses in Li Sol territory fall under the hands of evil tribes outside the territory? As the master of a domain, shouldn't you shelter and protect countless creatures under the domain? Such a self-righteous personality is not suitable for being a qualified master of a domain. Being questioned by Duo Chifei continuously, Xiao Yan's complexion sank slightly, ignoring the two evil powerhouses who were brewing astonishing fluctuations in front of him, and roared. Xiao Yan and Du Chifei did have some misunderstandings, but as early as when Xiao Yan left the ghost world, those misunderstandings were resolved. Now Du Chifei's actions made Xiao Yan angry. At present, the enemy is still acting out of anger because of the personal affairs of these individuals. We Li Sol territory will not lose. We don't need your mercy, let alone a younger generation who claims to be a descendant of the Xiao family to point fingers. Get out of here. In the face of Xiao Yan's anger-filled accusation, Duo Chifei roared again, and an ancient and powerful aura of physical strength slowly awakened. Okay, Forging Domain Lord, even if you fall here today, this Lord will definitely not interfere in anything in your Li Sol domain. I'm a man of the Xiao Clan, and I've never done anything to be ashamed of anyone. Whether it is the Master to you, or the ancestors of the Xiao family to the Thunder Master. Facing Du Chifei's constant provocation, Xiao Yan roared with anger. Just after he finished speaking, orange gold flames spread all over his body like an angry dragon, and they retreated directly towards the edge of Leyland. Obviously, he did not intend to interfere in this battle. Since Du Chifei is so hostile, let them deal with it on their own. Are these two people acting or are they acting? In the entire Lei Yuan, in such a tense situation, even the seventh evil asterisk hidden in the black smoke was puzzled. The purpose of their trip was naturally to kill the Thunder Lord, and the appearance of Xiao Yan now undoubtedly made their plans full of danger. Hey, Your Majesty, my subordinates think this is true. Now they are dying. As soon as the voice of King Heiju fell, thick black smoke appeared, and it turned out that a monstrous demonic pillar was set off in this Leyland world. There are countless small magic lines on the magic pillar, but the magic lines carry a stench faintly. The magic pillar surrounds him, and there is a faintly terrifying wave that makes people shudder, spreading continuously. Your Majesty, do you see? King Heiju immediately sneered when he saw the difference between the two in front of him being so big. Du Chifei is handed over to you, I will deal with Xiao Yan. If it can't be completely obliterated, then test their reality and lay the foundation for the future Russian plan to win. After the seventh evil spirit finished speaking, he immediately rolled out carrying black smoke and shot out at Xiao Yan. Regardless of whether the two of them are true or not, Xiao Yan's power and vision are definitely much more terrifying than Du Chifei. Demonic energy whistled on the surface of the black smoke and fog, and even vaguely condensed into a demonic fist. Your opponent is me. But when the evil black smoke covering the evil asterisk began to move, the terror attack shook the void and buzzed, but Du Chifei's voice was like a ghost, suddenly appearing around him. Court death? Without the help of the Thunder Lord, you are a complete waste. A ruthless sneer came from the black smoke of the evil god, and an icy death stare pierced through the void a little bit and shot towards the latter's delicate body. Just such a magic sound made the bodies of Yun Qi and Qi congeal. Not to mention that Du Chifei's strength has not yet recovered. If he forcibly resists this kind of power, the consequences may be. It's you who are looking for death, it's you. In the face of such a terrifying attack from the heretic god, Du Chifei sneered lightly, and the reincarnation mark between the eyebrows suddenly reflected a strange light. That beam of light, like some kind of strange power that opened up in the beginning of the world, is full of endless mysterious aura. Peefed. The moment that thing just appeared, the black smoke around the evil asterisk actually trembled eerily. A fearful thought unexpectedly flooded the evil god's mind uncontrollably. What is this? Evil god, King Heiju and the others flickered with cold light in their eyes. The first artifact in the ghost world? Thousands of ghosts and gods umbrella? Immediately, looking at the reincarnation mark between Duo Chifei's eyebrows, there was a slightly illusory object slowly projected out. The illusory appearance slowly became solid under the injection of thunder power, and the handle was only an inch long. An exquisite paper umbrella like a paper umbrella quietly appeared beside Duo Chife, and the seventh evil *** and other strong people in the scene were all angry. It turns out that the strongest artifact in the ghost world actually fell into your hands. No wonder you have such courage to challenge me. At this moment, the seventh evil god's contempt for Du Chife disappeared completely, and black smoke rolled around, as if some kind of terrifying power was brewing. The first divine weapon in the ghost world, the terrifying power of the 1,000 machine ghost umbrella, has never been seen by anyone, so the seventh evil ** had to face it solemnly. It's too early to say that now. You are angry with people and gods for what we have done in Li Soul territory, and today you will use this powerful evil weapon in the ghost world to keep you here forever. Du Chife only held this divine weapon with both hands, and she could feel the destructive power flowing over this ordinary paper umbrella. Even the monstrous evil power of the seventh evil god is as weak as a firefly compared to this power, ha ha ha. This is what Leju said, but it is credible. With your strength at the pinnacle of the five-fold reincarnation, even with the help of an artifact, you can't defeat this evil god. Tear off! The seventh heretic god roared angrily, but no matter what, his body had been hidden in black smoke, as if he was deliberately covering his own body. Boom! For a time, the entire void of Lei Yuan was on the verge of crumbling, and the two forces were out of control, setting off waves of violent energy fluctuations here. The umbrella bones are sharp, and the painted flowers on the umbrella bones are also mysterious and unpredictable. It seems to use a certain pattern to exert a terrifying power that destroys the sky and destroys the earth. Is this the #1 evil weapon in the ghost world? Although Xiao Yan was furious, he quietly hid to the side, watching the battle between Du Chife and the evil ** in the arena. I have to say that although Duo Chife is injured, but with the strength of the five-fold reincarnation level peak and this first evil weapon, the power is not inferior to the seventh evil god? The strength of the seventh evil ** is definitely not the 5th rank, it is very likely to be the 6th rank. 1 umbrella. 1,000 machine blades. The elegant woman held a wooden paper umbrella and muttered words in her mouth. Suddenly, above the extremely ordinary myriad manifestations umbrella, there were actually strands of extremely bright black light flickering. One after another, the divine voice in the sky seemed to quietly emerge from the 1,000 manifestations umbrella, and the terrifying power penetrated the entire world. Buzz! Just as Duo Chife's voice fell, the 1,000 manifestations umbrella in his hand was slightly separated. Split in two in an instant. The double umbrella rib body shook violently, and the extremely ancient patterns immediately bloomed like petals blooming. The monstrous ghost roared in anger, and it turned out to be filled with an unprecedented suppression. Latest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2541. Genius for a second to remember the permanent address of this site. Link to 81zw.us. 1 umbrella, thousands of blades. Bomb. The resounding voice resounded through the heavens and the earth, and I saw the ancient paper umbrella formed from Duo Chife's body spinning violently, and a huge storm filled with endless deep and dark patterns suddenly tore apart every inch of the void in Leyland, the land, then it slammed into the black smoke of the seventh evil god's bodyguard. Tips for carving insects. Seeing Du Chife attack like this, the seven-eyed evil god snorted coldly, and a mass of viscous demonic energy roared out from it, carrying an overwhelming dark aura, rolling in. Bang! The two extremely terrifying attacks came into contact with each other, and the harsh metal collision sound rippled along with bursts of dazzling sparks. Such a terrifying monstrous momentum, accompanied by wisps of violent energy, raged out. If this place is not in Lei Yuan, I am afraid that the whole world will be torn away by it in an instant. What kind of power is this? The eyes of King Heiju on the side shrank slightly, as if he could smell an amazing wave of destruction from above the paper umbrella. It looks ordinary from a distance, but with the cooperation of Du Chife's strange formulas and exercises, the terrifying power released is actually enough to threaten the seventh evil god. In one blow, the two were evenly divided. King Heiju was still standing silently on the side, with the magic pillars rolling around him constantly. He had to beware of Xiao Yan's attack. It is indeed the #1 artifact in the ghost world. But the seventh evil god snorted coldly again, and immediately began to have some extremely terrifying demonic energy pouring out of his body. Demonic energy poured out, like a moving sea of demons roaring and rushing. Under the erosion of the skyless roar, the energy of the whole world became dim. Even the whole body of the evil god, the terrifying demonic energy was surging rapidly, forming an endless vortex of evil in an instant. As the whirlpool rotates, it seems that even this piece of heaven and earth can be torn apart in an instant, swallowing it, and it is extremely powerful and strange. Looking at this scene, Btth2 couldn't help but take a deep breath, and then held the Chinji ghost god umbrella in his hand, chanting words from the corners of his mouth, and his beautiful eyes closely watching the evil god's every move. Xiao Yan, looking at the two people fighting on the sky, Yunqi clenched his silver teeth and said very worried. Even though Btth2 had the help of the first evil weapon, he was still injured. The difference in power and strength was definitely not an opponent of the seven-eyed evil god. What does her death have to do with me? The owner of this domain has come here to support countless territories in vain, and he is not welcome or even ridiculed by him. Why does the owner of this domain still help you? Why? Since she wants to die, let her go. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, the power in his body dissipated instantly, and he stood there like an ordinary person. In the vortex of demonic energy, the boiling demonic energy was trembling, but there were faintly rustling footsteps, as if spanning endless time. Many powerful creatures poured out of it. In the vortex of magic energy, several black shadows slowly emerged, and just a moment later, a huge team of nearly 100 people stepped out of the vortex of magic energy, staring at Btth2 with gloomy and fierce eyes. Irene, the old ghost of the earth spirit, how so? It was not until the figures in the vortex of demonic energy emerged one after another that the anger in Xiao Yan's heart slowly disappeared, and what was replaced by it was a touch of shock and unease. These guys, with a crazy bloodthirsty and murderous aura in their eyes, are obviously under control. These guys are exactly the same as the 5 Palace Yama. Xiao Yan took a deep breath, and the dazzling holy flame within his body was like a piercing scorching sun, bursting with endless anger. Second umbrella, heaven and earth will be destroyed. As soon as the sound fell, the paper umbrella fluttered up and suddenly turned into a starry spot in the sky. Wherever it spread, a low-pitched explosion sounded. 3 umbrellas, dance the sky. Btth2 held the 1,000 machine ghost umbrella. The umbrella body turned, matched with her graceful dance, unexpectedly evoking a touch of despairing and terrifying power. 4 umbrellas, fall for a lifetime. After a while, a slightly illusory dark-colored figure slowly hibernated behind its delicate body, and a strong dawn pierced through the heavens and the earth, as if it had descended here from the distant world on the other side. Each of the 4,000 manifestations or umbrellas is different, but under the action of the power of the 4 umbrellas, countless creatures roared and roared in the entire vortex of magical energy. One after another humming sound rang out, but every time it sounded, it would bring forth a burst of supreme power that was powerful enough to command the heavens and the earth. Kill me! In the face of such a terrifying attack from Btth2, the 7th evil *** smiled coldly, waved his hand, and hundreds of powerhouses swarmed out to unleash a terrifying attack on Btth2. These guys are all outstanding among the 5 academies of Li Soul Domain, and now they are controlled by outside the domain. The strength in their bodies has all been transformed into the power of evil, and they have even been greatly improved because of this. Get out of here! Xiao Yan groaned in his chest, and the majestic pure flame tried to tilt out of the vortex of demonic energy, but was stopped by the monstrous demonic pillar of the Black Jew King beside him. Your opponent is me. This king will not let you sabotage your majesty's plan. King He-ju sneered, and on the dull skin around his body, there were actually small creatures of ancient evil that kept squirming. Court death. This time, Xiao Yan's eyes were filled with endless anger, and the majestic offensive slanted out without reservation. Boom! Immediately, energy fluctuations surged around the entire Leyland, and the demonic vortex and Black Absolute King also kept losing. Go to hell! The 7th evil god also noticed that something was wrong, and immediately stretched out a dark green weird arm from the black smoke of the body shield, and quietly pointed at Btth2, who was anxious to deal with the whirlpool of demonic energy. Water, waterspout, heavenly waterfall. Seeing such an insidious move by the heretic god, although Xiao Yan felt resentment in his heart, he still tilted the endless power out of his body, and suddenly formed a waterspout with a volume exceeding 10,000 zhang, covering the defenseless Du Qifei. Bang! The seventh evil god's attack was extremely evil, but at this time, Xiao Yan slowly resisted it. Retreat. See you in the final battle. Thick black smoke appeared, and immediately the lifeless voice of the seventh evil asterisk came out. King Heju and his figure completely disappeared here. Obviously, he also sensed a strong aura in Lei Island, which was slowing down. Slowly awake. After the two left, the countless evil forces in the entire Lei Yuan were quickly purified by Xiao Yan's holy flame. Xiao Yan, you go. The teacher is about to succeed. Once she finds out your true identity, I'm afraid. When the crisis was over, Duo Qifei sighed slowly, and then shook his head helplessly. The extreme words just now are indeed self-indulgent, but that is not his original intention. The two clearly have no chance, and they have already agreed to be friends. It is terrible that they will meet again now, and it is inevitable. My heart is already messed up. You're right, it's her who is wrong. Although she is your teacher, she cannot force her will on you. Lord Lei, come out. Xiao Yan spoke quietly, his voice just fell, and his eyes were fixed on the position in Lei Dao, where there is a powerful aura that surpasses the heavens and the earth, and is gathering rapidly, summoning some kind of extremely powerful ancient king, slowly waking up. Just the perception from a long distance can't help but shake Xiao Yan's soul fiercely. Who else is there besides the so-called Thunderlord? Buy Chinese website mobile version reading website, link to m.81zw.us. Continuing from the previous episode 2542. Genius for a second to remember the permanent address of this site, link to 81zw.us, Lord Lei, come out. Xiao Yan shook his head, and then his eyes were fixed on Lei Dao, the gray thunder light rising slowly. There was no panic in his eyes, as if there was a touch of calmness in his eyes. This time, no matter what, it is necessary to find out the source of Thunderlord's hatred for the Xiao family. A good descendant of the Xiao family, with courage. But you will die today. Ha ha ha. The sound of roaring from the sky swept up, and all of a sudden, patches of gray thunder, like the sun, slanted out from the sky of Lei Dao. The thunder and ash were grand, and above the rolling thunder stood a beautiful woman who was a fierce god. The woman's body was flashing with thunder, and she was staring at Xiao Yan closely. Sparks appeared in her beautiful eyes, and it was obvious that the words of the Xiao family had already aroused the latter's endless anger. Your Majesty Lei, this? Looking at such a solemn atmosphere, Yun Qi bit the corner of his mouth and couldn't help speaking. It's none of your business here, little bastard. What did your Xiao family do, and you still have the courage to come here? My lord will definitely suppress you here today to comfort the spirits of those who have passed away. Take your life. The crazy angry roar resounded throughout Lei Yuan, and the terrifying majesty of the world made the power in Xiao Yan's body suddenly surge. The Thunderlord's thunder attribute power is really too mysterious and violent, and even Xiao Yan is a little troubled. Humph. Lei Lord, I respect you as a senior. If you are so aggressive, the junior doesn't mind dragging you down here. In the face of Thunderlord's monstrous anger, Xiao Yan chuckled lightly. Fenju's running route slowly ascended, and his palm lifted quietly. On the palm of the hand, there is a very dazzling orange-gold flame, which beats slowly like an elf, and the violent force contained in it. Even the Thundermaster frowned slightly. Lei, the pillar of contempt for the world. In the face of Xiao Yan's threat, the Thunderlord's slender fingers moved, and a bundle of gray thunder pillars with a size of thousands of meters fell through the void and blasted out at Xiao Yan's vital spot. The offensive was powerful, but Xiao Yan did not take a step back. His eyes were full of anger, and the monstrous fighting intent was vented. The Thunderlord's strength has now recovered to the 6th layer reincarnation rank. In conjunction with the terrifying power of the first thunder in ancient and modern times, I am afraid that it can really endanger Xiao Yan's life. But so what? Xiao Yan is not afraid. Teacher, let him go. He is just a descendant of the Xiao Clan. You should not transfer the anger of the ancestors of the Xiao Clan to him. Buzz. Duo Qifei held the 1,000 machine ghost umbrella in his hand, and the illusory ghost body gushed out. What? Have you forgotten what the teacher said to you? I was hostile to him just now. but now my attitude has changed so quickly. If you continue like this, sooner or later, you will be calculated by this group of beast-hearted guys. But it's useless, under my thunder pillar, no one can survive. Crack! Lei Zhu sneered, and with a gentle wave of his hand, Duo Chifei was completely suppressed, unable to move. You ungrateful animal! The wrath of holy flame! 7 flame eyes. Feeling the destructive fluctuations that filled the thunder pillar, Xiao Yan was also unbearable, with endless flames gushing out of his chest. The 7 sacred flames of different colors, like a lit star, suddenly rose and burned. Since the Thunder Master didn't give himself the opportunity to explain it all, then he didn't need to hold back. Since the senior insists on doing this, then I can only do my best. Xiao Yan looked at the Thunder Lord in a state of rage in front of him, without any retreat or fear, and smiled lightly. The ability and temper are not small. Lord Lei's beautiful eyes turned, and his gaze swept across the 7 colored flame eyes and Xiao Yan's body. This kind of fluctuation on Xiao Yan's body really made Lei Lord a little puzzled. Xiao Yan's power had already reached the true 5th layer reincarnation rank. With the power of the 7 kinds of holy flames and Fenju, even the Thunder Lord, who had recovered to the 6th layer reincarnation rank, had no certainty of victory. Teacher, Your Majesty! Du Qifei and Yun Qi saw that the Thunder Lord suddenly fell silent and hesitated, and immediately pleaded bitterly. Humph! I will bypass you today. He will bring you hated fellows to justice. Lei Zhu's tone was silent, and then he dismissed Lei Zhu, and the whole world returned to calm. Bypass me? Dare to ask your excellency, what kind of things did our ancestors of the Xiao family do to make you so hated? Besides Xiao Yan, the eyes of Holy Flame twitched slightly, so he took advantage of this great opportunity to ask directly. Since the grievances cannot be resolved, it is natural to ask the matter thoroughly here. Xiao Yan, hurry up! Don't ask! Xiao Yan's voice just fell, but Duan Qifei's face sank, and he actually sent a voice transmission to his soul in private. I meant to let you go, but you brought it on yourself. Thunderworld. At this moment, with the appearance of Xiao Yan's voice, the Thunder Master's aura and ecology have undergone earth-shaking changes. As if he had changed into a person, the icy murderous aura slowly poured out from his tender body, and the violent and powerful thunder force of heaven and earth formed a gray world that completely covered the entire Lei Yuan. In an instant, all the energies of heaven and earth solidified in the entire gray and white thunder world, and even the holy flame in Xiao Yan's body felt a rare oppression. Dare to ask the seniors, our elders of the Xiao Clan, are they digging up the graves of people's ancestors or doing something that people and gods are angry with? This time, I will bear the anger of my predecessors. Xiao Yan was full of temper and roared directly. Ha ha ha, the ancestors of the Xiao family are really powerful. My holy Thunder Clan, 1,800 lives, were all killed by them overnight, and their bodies and spirits were all destroyed. This hatred is unbearable. Even if I kill you countless times, it's hard to get rid of the hatred in my heart. A frantic sneer sounded. Who would know that behind the Thunder Master, the peak powerhouse of the Great Thousand Worlds, would have such a sad past? Impossible. It is absolutely impossible for my Xiao ancestors to do such a thing. There must be some misunderstanding in this. Xiao Yan couldn't believe it when he heard the words. But after a while, his heart skipped a beat, and he finally knew the source of the Thunder Lord's hatred for the Xiao Clan, and in order to eliminate the Thunder Lord's anger, he spoke out again. Misunderstanding? I saw it with my own eyes, can it still be fake? In the face of Xiao Yan's rhetorical question, the Thunder Lord smiled contemptuously, and suddenly endless gray lightning dots gushed out from the delicate body, and a terrifying energy that surpassed the top immortal arts quickly gathered. That kind of extremely terrifying energy is almost a nirvana skill. Senior, the reputation of my Xiao Clan is known to everyone in the world. It is impossible for someone to do such a thing that people and gods are angry with. There are many doubts about it. Please give me some time to prove it. Feeling the cold killing intent pouring out of Lei's main body, Xiao Yan's body froze slightly, and he could only speak with a huge majesty. No need, the people of the Xiao family can't believe it. This attack, as you annoyed me, this is where you fell. Lei Jing, Lord Lei seemed to be insane, and did not listen to any advice at all. Yes, the eye of holy flame. Facing the Thunder Lord in a state of rage, Xiao Yan's could only release the product of the fusion of the holy flame of rejuvenation, which collided abruptly. Hey, Master Lei, this king told you a long time ago that there are many doubts about the destruction of your holy Thunder Clan. You are so decisive, it is terrifying that you have lost your great demeanor. Just when the thunder force that penetrated the sky and the earth spread, and was about to blast away at Xiao Yan's heart, a faint golden shadow, accompanied by a burst of supreme divine power that surpassed the Thunder Master, passed out. Buy Chinese website mobile version reading website, link to m.81zw.us. Continuing from the previous episode 2543. Who is it? Get out of here for this master. His strongest blow was actually crushed by the golden beam in an instant, and Lei Ju's beautiful eyes shrank tightly, and then his anger sounded like a volcanic eruption. Master, Uncle Master. Xiao Yan breathed heavily, watching the golden dragon shadow hidden in his body twisting the void, instantly resisting the Thunder Lord's attack, and quietly appearing in front of him. He couldn't help but respectfully said, "This is the dragon shadow that contains the blood of the Golden Dragon King, and it is also the dragon blood that Wu Di and others brought from the Dragon Clan, which is the key to Xiao Yan's cultivation of the dragon *** transformation. The third holy flame, the 5th level of reincarnation, is pretty good. The Dragon Clan has a lot of things to do, so I can't show up to help you for the time being. We can only let the two of them bring some of my original dragon blood to find you." Above the dragon shadow, a warm voice poured into Xiao Yan's heart. The voice was low, as if it was carrying an inherent arrogance and domineering. Golden Dragon King? At this moment, the Thunder Lord also realized the true identity of the golden dragon shadow in front of him. The anger in his eyes subsided a little, and then he was surprised. Although the strength of the two is strong, in the terrifying peak period, the strength of the Thunder Lord was not enough to compete with the Golden Dragon King. "Lord Lei, long time no see. I didn't expect you to be so arrogant and unreasonable. However, Xiao Yan is the disciple of this king, so you are trying to kill him? What's more, this king has already told you countless times that the matter of the Holy Thunder Clan is by no means as simple as it seems. The Golden Dragon Shadow and Dragon Eyes are majestic, slowly watching the Thunder Master stepping in the Thunder World. The cold killing intent in his voice is undisguised. Ha ha ha, is this the Xiao Clan? A hypocritical family deserves to be sheltered like this? With the sound of the Golden Dragon King's voice, the gray thunder around the Thunder Lord's body became more and more dazzling like a world-destroying thunder. The people of the Xiao family have never seen any scum, and their moral character is also well known in the entire Daqin world. I showed up today not to fight you, but to resolve the grudges that have been covered in dust for thousands of years. The faint voice of the Golden Dragon King sounded. Misunderstanding? I have seen it with my own eyes, can it be fake? It's really surprising that the dignified Dragon Clan Xian can actually speak for such a group of beasts with human faces and beasts' hearts. The scarlet eyes were extremely cold, and it seemed that every word of the Golden Dragon King was whipped and stabbed fiercely, arousing the last trace of reason in the Thunder Lord. Why do you just rely on your own one-sided words to decide that the culprit who destroyed your entire race is the people of the Xiao Clan? What if this is a conspiracy of some conscientious people? The Golden Dragon King roared directly. The sound of the huge dragon roar was majestic. Ha ha ha. Before the First World War began, in order to meet the incoming enemy, I retreated in the hometown of the Xiao Clan and attacked the Eightfold Shackles. At that time, that guy clearly promised me that when I successfully exit the customs, the matchmaker will marry and announce to the world. But after I left the customs, the First World War had already begun, but it was in the homeland of the Xiao family, and I saw him and other women kissing me and me. You keep saying that you won't marry me, but in the end, you're going to mess around. Are people from the Xiao Clan a bunch of hypocrites? Then I quietly left the Xiao Clan's land in anger and returned to our Holy Thunder Clan, but I didn't expect the entire clan to be isolated by a powerful heaven and earth formation. Just as I was trying to crack the formation, I saw the formation space with my own eyes. Among them, thousands of clansmen who were ruthlessly beheaded by him. Blood in a river, cold and ruthless, the feeling of watching your entire race be slaughtered by others. How can you guys ever understand? Ha ha ha. The Thunder Lord's voice became more and more frantic, his expression was very hideous, and the countless ancient thunders in his body became more and more dazzling, as if the next moment would completely ignite and explode. Listening to Master Lei's words, Xiao Yan and Du Qifei's hearts were extremely gloomy. Who would have thought that such a bleak scene would be behind this supreme powerhouse who is proud of the past and present? How do you explain these? With red eyes, he approached the golden dragon's shadow step by step. The Thunder Lord's reason almost dissipated, and the infinite anger slowly dissipated like an ancient power that surpassed the entire world. Impossible. Xiao Tianming, as the real pillar of the Xiao family, with his love for you, it is absolutely impossible for him to do such a thing. In the face of Thunder Lord's monstrous anger, the Golden Dragon King shook his head suddenly. Golden Dragon King, are you questioning the master and maliciously slandering the people of the Xiao family? You Dragon Clan and Xiao Clan all look the same. Lei Master said. The last trace of reason in his heart dissipated instantly, and there was an ancient thunderous roar in his eyes. The rippling past and present, extremely strong. Lord Lei, there are many doubts about this matter, and it is definitely not the reason. What you said, after the retreat, the war between heaven and earth has begun. At that time, many great powers of foreign evil races poured into our vast world. Maybe it is their conspiracy. What did you see that woman like that day? The Golden Dragon King did not have any traces of his actions, because he knew that once he fought here, he would never be able to find out the grievances. Why are you making these indifferent struggles? The people of the Xiao family, the master sees one slaughtering one. However, the Thunder Master was not affected by the Golden Dragon King at all, and the supreme thunder power that surpassed the immortal arts was released little by little, trying to unleash the power of destroying the gods. Senior Lei Lord, this matter is indeed very suspicious. Please think twice. Xiao Yan frowned and couldn't help but speak out. Teacher, Your Majesty. Duo Qifei, Yun Qi and the others also hurriedly spoke out. The power that the Thunder Lord is now brewing came together, and I am afraid that everything here will be completely turned into dust. Senior, please give us some time to prove this. If this matter is really what our seniors of the Xiao family did, the juniors are willing to fall into the hands of the seniors. This is the origin of the soul. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, the madness in his eyes filled his eyes. He suddenly stretched out his palm and grabbed the spiritual palace in his body violently. A nearly transparent soul source quietly appeared in his hand. Such a pure soul source, once damaged, I am afraid that Xiao Yan will be seriously injured even if he does not die. This king is also willing to protect the Xiao clan. If this is the fault of the Xiao clan, this king is willing to kill you. So, are you satisfied? The resolute attitude of the two powerhouses caused Lei Master to feel a little shaken, and the brewing terrifying ultimate move quietly disappeared. Remember what you said, this is the woman he was intimate with that day. Lord Lei waved his hand, and a portrait of a woman in a static state appeared calmly in the void. The woman in the picture has a face that can be called perfect, beautiful eyes that are endlessly deep, as if possessing some special magic power, a light long dress, and slender 3,000 blue silk woven together, very charming. However, under Xiao Yan's full attention, he found that the blood of the Xiao family, even the lines of the family, in his body released an extremely hot wave at the same time. This woman is actually a member of the Xiao clan? And the more he looked at it, the more Xiao Yan felt that this woman was somewhat familiar. It seems to be the Xiao clan Almighty who had a relationship in the demon realm Poison God Palace. The goddess of war of the Xiao clan, Xiao Lingshan. Looking at this portrait, after a while, Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King blurted out. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2544. Xiao Lingshan. Impossible. Following the voices of Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King, Lei Ju's eyes were wrinkled and he denied it directly. After Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King said this, the resentment in Lei Ju's heart dissipated without a trace, and there was even a lot of speculation. Lord Lei knew Xiao Lingshan's identity, but he only knew that this guy was also a member of the Xiao family. If the portrait of this woman is Xiao Tianming's man, then everything makes sense. The Golden Dragon King stared at the portrait in front of him again, and immediately there was a faint vigilance in his majestic dragon eyes. How? Lord Lei woke up, and immediately realized that this matter did not seem to be that simple. Xiao Tianming, Xiao Lingshan, they are brothers and sisters. Twin brothers and sisters in the Xiao family. At this time, Xiao Yan couldn't help but smile bitterly, took over the words of the Golden Dragon King and blurted out. At this time, Xiao Yan was also more or less guessing that the Thunder Lord of Emotion was jealous? Or eat the vinegar of other people's sisters? But how could Lord Lei not know Xiao Lingshan's true identity? Brother and sister? Why have I never heard him mention it? At this time, Lord Lei was a little puzzled, and he couldn't help but say with the memories that had been sealed in his mind for countless years. Because Xiao Lingshan is in the Xiao Clan, she is a sharp blade hidden in the darkness, helping the entire Xiao Clan to deal with people who get in the way, and she almost never shows her true face, so in the entire Great Thousand World, few people know her true identity. The Golden Dragon King trembled all over his body, and every word pierced the Thunder Lord's heartstrings. Quote. When Master Lei heard the words, he did not respond. Obviously, it took a lot of time to absorb this huge amount of information. The most important thing is that she misunderstood Xiao Tianming. And the worry in your heart is nothing more than fear that they will have an affair, which is understandable. But I can tell you clearly that they have a very good relationship between siblings. In addition, Xiao Lingshan has been entangled by Xuan, the poisonous ** of the demon world. Could the picture you saw that day have something to do with it? If Xuan, the ** of poison, harassed Xiao Lingshan several times, she couldn't bear to break up the alliance between the two forces. After all, these powerful forces were needed to jointly resist outside the territory, so Xiao Lingshan could only endure it. Xiao Tianming went to comfort her in distress? Between brothers and sisters, even some gestures of intimacy are understandable. The Golden Dragon King pushed the boat along the water and made a bold guess. Based on the relationship between the Golden Dragon King and the Xiao Clan, it is natural to understand their conduct, so guessing like this is probably within a reasonable range. Your guesses like this are undoubtedly biased towards the Xiao Clan. This kind of speculation is well-founded. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Then how do you explain the massacre of my Holy Thunder Clan? That day, Xiao Tianming's body, his real body, was clearly seen by the master. After being told this by Xiao Yan and the two of them in a row, the Thunder Master also came to his senses. But what really made Lei Zhu care about was the massacre. Seeing that his entire family was slaughtered overnight by his beloved, the torture seemed indescribable in words. I don't know about this, and I can't explain it to you. The Golden Dragon King shook his head slightly, as if he was thinking about something. HMPH, then the debt between us is still inseparable. As the Thunder Lord said, the endless rage thunder in his chest slowly erupted into a low roar. Wait a minute, although I don't know if this is true or not, but there is one thing you must know. In the Foreign Evil Clan, beside the head of the foreign domain, in addition to the 7 evil gods, there are also the 4 guardians of heaven and earth Xuanwang, Fa. Their strengths are all above the evil gods, and each of them has enough to obliterate your entire race. Strength. The Golden Dragon King stared at the Thunder Lord, constantly explaining information that could only be learned by the most powerful people in this world. What does this have to do with my family? Lord Lei glared at the Golden Dragon King. If there is no sufficient reason to convince her today, I am afraid this guy will stop Xiao Yan and the two here at all costs. These pieces of information are among the peaks between heaven and earth. The 4 guardians, Shen Hu, one of the laws, seems to understand the laws of heaven and earth, the art of disguising shape, and such a powerful hand, even in the entire Daqin world. I am afraid no one can see through the truth. Body. What if what you saw that day was Xiao Tianming after his transformation? After all, after you left the border, the war between heaven and earth has already begun. At that time, the Xiao Clan took the lead and rushed to the forefront. As a genius of the Xiao Clan, Xiao Tianming will never shrink in the back. The Golden Dragon King spoke up again, telling his guesses in one go. At this point, if the Thunder Master still doesn't believe it, I'm afraid they can only start a fierce battle. When Lord Lei heard this, there was a faint sadness in his beautiful eyes. Memories rushed into my mind like a tide, and the scenes from the past slowly reappeared. Even combined with the information of the Golden Dragon King, it is guessed that there are some vague coincidences. Is it really as the Golden Dragon King guessed? You have wronged the Xiao Clan? Naturally, these information were only known by chance when I and the people of the Xiao Clan were the leaders of resistance outside the realm. Not many people in the entire world know about it. You don't need to doubt the authenticity of the news, said the Golden Dragon King. You. Let's go. I need to be quiet. Qi Fei, Yun Qi, let's go back. As soon as the voice fell, the sharp murderous aura on Lei Lord instantly dissipated, and instead it was covered with a strange aura. I won't do anything to the Xiao Clan until things get to the bottom of it. After the 4 people of Lei Master disappeared, the last voice echoed in the entire Lei Yuan. Obviously, the current Lei Master was quite convinced by what the Golden Dragon King said. Completely unraveled. Master, this? In the entire Lei Yuan, only Xiao Yan was left, and Xiao Yan said helplessly. The scene in front of us is beyond everyone's expectations, but this situation is undoubtedly a joy to everyone. After all, the 7th evil *** army is still eyeing the sky above the Lihan realm. It's already very good. However, the Golden Dragon King Longying looked at the Lei Master who was slowly disappearing, and smiled endlessly. Uncle Shi, the repair of the God Execution Ruler? To fix the problem, I'm afraid I can only ask the Holy King, but I don't know anything about this. As for Xiao Zhan, and Zi Yan, who you once talked about, they are now living in the land of the Dragon Clan and they are doing pretty well. But I have to warn you that the entrance to the underworld in the ghost world, with your current strength, don't try it lightly. The underworld and our dragon family should not go to the underworld for the time being. Your top priority now is to stabilize and strengthen your strength. Quote. Okay. For a time, the Golden Dragon King left a lot of instructions to Xiao Yan. The speed of Xiao Yan's growth was staggering. The Golden Dragon King's actions were undoubtedly to protect Xiao Yan. Little guy, don't think about other thoughts, although you have the power of Holy Flame and demons, but the current strength of the Thunder Lord, even if it is only the 6th reincarnation level, it is not a problem to crush you. After all, she is standing at the peak of this world. The strong. Quote. Let's go back first. I don't know how the meeting went with Yun Yun and the others. Next, I'm afraid there will be a real fierce battle. Whoa! As soon as the words fell, Xiao Yan rolled over the sea of magic again and quietly moved towards his large army, but the only consciousness of the Golden Dragon King hidden in the dragon's blood and dragon's shadow has slowly disappeared in this thunderous abyss. Once the rich source of dragon blood is fused by Xiao Yan, I am afraid that Xiao Yan will get a huge increase. Now, the 7th evil ** is their biggest enemy. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website.